Being a creator means inspiring others, making an impact, building a community. But what happens when that spotlight turns against you? What if someone digs up your past, spreads false rumors, or even puts your safety at risk? This is what we're going to be covering tonight, the dark side of the internet.
And it's going to get really dark.
It is going to get really dark. Tonight, we're diving into real dangers of being online, the cancel culture and mass outrage, harassment campaigns, and obsessive trolls, stalking, doxing, and swatting. Those were new terms for me.
Yeah, is
But I had
swatting,
to
is
go
swatting
do
something
research.
like that a cat does?
No.
Swats?
No, I will explain that it's something more serious than that. And
Okay.
so this is for you if you are either a seasoned content creator, a new content creator, whether you're here on YouTube or on other platforms. This episode that we put together for you is going to be very useful in order for you to see examples of what's going on or what's happening to other creators. And also we are going to be sharing some tips and information that I found in my research of ways that you can protect yourself online, because we are, content creators and we're putting our lives out there for other people to see. And there are dangers coming our way because of what we choose to do every day. Some people will love us and some others will hate us and some others will get obsessed with us, and we have to protect ourselves. And some of these things that I'm going to share with you, I'm going to be doing myself for us to protect ourselves, because you never know. I've gotten haters too. I've gotten haters.
Yes, you've been triggered. Or, I mean, you have probably been triggered, but you've triggered people.
Yes,
online
I
too.
do. I trigger people. So let's get going with this. So how can we protect our career, our safety, and our reputation when everything is on the line? Let's talk. Let's dive in.
Yes, let's do it. And make sure to leave any comments that you have right here, and we will respond to them. So bring it home.
So I am Veronica, and I am part of the PSS Creative Media, and this is Content Sancocho. We've been through a rebranding process. If you've been following us for a while, we used to be Pod Sound School, and now we've rebranded to PSS Creative Media. We are bringing a lot of cool stuff for you, refreshed and new. And this is our new show, part of the PSS Creative Media, and it's called Content Sancocho. And this is your go-to for all things creator culture. And every Friday, we're going to meet here. And whether you are building a personal brand or you are creating content for your business, we'll keep you updated with industry trends, juicy controversies, because we all like the chismes, and essential tools and inspired tips for you to apply to your content creation, for your content creator career. So let's dive in. I just needed to make that clear. Like, what is this? What is Content Sancocho? Who's this person? Well, now we meet, I'm Veronica. And this is Content Sancocho. So the first case that I'm bringing for you here is Ethan Klein. And if you don't know who Ethan Klein is, Ethan is one of the hosts for H3 podcast. If you've been in podcasting for a while, or if you've been in the podcast industry, they are well known because they have big channels here on YouTube. His podcast here on YouTube has more than 2 million subscribers, and he's a little bit of a controversial figure. I'm not a follower of the show, so I'm not a fan. But so the story that I'm bringing you today, I just did the research because is brand new, is happening right now, is unfolding as we speak. So On February 17, if you can, show the photo of Ethan Klein.
Yes, we're looking at a photo of him right now.
This is the distinguished
Yes,
Ethan
the
Klein.
distinguished Ethan.
So on February 17 this year, during an episode of his podcast H3, Ethan Klein shares that his newly adopted puppy or dog Olive was diagnosed with giardia. And if you don't know, I'm sure you know what giardia is. That how you say it?
Does giardia have to do with being swatted or
No, it
swaddled?
doesn't. No, I'm getting there.
Okay,
I'm getting
no,
there. So,
you're getting to the
so in one
swatting.
of the episodes, he was just sharing with his audience like how his dog was diagnosed with giardia, and then he mentions that he was concerned that his youngest son, I think he's starting to crawl. He's a toddler. Sonny might have contracted it, and that he was feeling unwell. So this happened on February 17. Then on March 3rd, an anonymous individual contacted Child Protective Services, alleging that Ethan's children were exposed to unsanitary conditions at home, specifically claiming that Sonny is crawling around and eating dog feces, leading to illness. So they reported him to CPS.
Yes.
So March 7th, then in one of the episodes of H3 podcast, Ethan reveals that CPS visited his home following the false report, and you can only imagine, somebody's at the door and it's CPS, and you just like, what happened? Like CPS. I mean, it's like every parent's nightmare. So then he shares the distress that caused, that the incident caused, and express his belief that the call was maliciously motivated by a specific Reddit group, and they're called the Snark group. Now, I don't have a Reddit account, but I went and created one and tried to find them.
Did you find this? Did you find the Snarks?
So I
Do
found.
the Snarks have any relation to Smurfs or swatting?
No, but they are a very interesting group on Reddit. Let's just put it that way. Then the issue started. And why are these people hating on him? Like, what's going on? Where is this coming from? Well, the issue started in February when he made some comments during one of his episodes about another YouTuber and Twitch streamer, and his name is Hassan Piker. 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 Piker.
Peter Piper swatted a pepper.
If I'm mispronouncing that name, I apologize, Piker. Hassan
Piker picked a pepper.
He's also a YouTube creator who covered political issues. I went and looked at his channel. Very interesting character. And the Snark people on Reddit, they are diehard followers of his work. And that's why when Ethan made some statements about Hassan Piker, then they got very aggravated, they got very upset, and then they launched an attack on Ethan Klein, allegedly, according to what I found in my research. So you can see here the channel Hassan Abi. That's Hassan Hiker's YouTube channel. And then here you can see one of the videos that Ethan Klein posted on the podcast, calling him a cowardly liar. The whole thing, I think one of the things that the reason why Ethan started this attack against this individual was because he hasn't commented on somebody's video, this woman that was sharing an experience about violence committed on her, and then Hassan commented, made fun of her, something like that. So Ethan came in her defense. It's a back and forth, a lot of chisme, and something that was very interesting to me is like these creators, they they replied with videos. They replied to each other with episodes. So if you are, if you happen to be a follower of Ethan Klein, then you're just like, what is the other person going to say? So I imagine that, that it's a great ways to get views. And I'm not suggesting that they're doing this for that reason. I am not sure that that's the reason why the controversy came about. But it's.
It wouldn't be surprising.
It wouldn't be surprising that you've seen those things in Hollywood and things that are orchestrated by PR people to make artists and actors and actresses more famous. So here's if you are you gonna show the video.
No, I can show the video, the TikTok clip. Let's see if it will play
Okay,
it
so
here.
let's play the
But
TikTok
I
clip.
need to see if I can also share the audio.
This morning we got a visit from Child Protective Services. After all these years, still getting new experiences. This morning we got a visit from Child Protective Services. After all these years, still getting new experiences. This morning we got a visit from Child Protective Services. Because I told this story on the show a few weeks ago about how when we adopted Olive, she had Giardia. And then the next day, Sonny started having diarrhea, so we suspected he might have Giardia. Seeing as that he's an infant, he's crawling around, he's putting everything in his mouth, etc. Makes sense, right? It's obvious. So it turned into this whole snark narrative that our house is a mess, that there's dog shit everywhere, that Sonny is eating shit and getting Giardia, and that, et cetera, et cetera. Well, it culminated in somebody finally, an anonymous call went into them on the 3rd saying that they were somebody that works at the house, and they wanted to report us because our kid.
So very upsetting, in my opinion. You're sharing something that is, something that is going on in your home, and the next thing you know, things are getting out of context, and then you have CPS, Child Protective Services, knocking on your door and putting your family through that situation. Which is very unfortunate. And then I also found this TikTok clip about, this is a snark member talking about Ethan Klein, and you can see, this person who represents the community. Clip 2.
Oh, I hope his kids get taken away from him. Oh, I hope so. They would be so much better off.
Every time I see what a snarker looks like, these people are like cartoon characters. Every time I see a video with them, I'm like, no shot. It's like the blue-haired meme come to real life. Anyway, here, listen to this. You guys are going to love this. It's fantastic. It really
you can't even take care of your fucking kids. Why don't you tell your wife, too? She should be taking care of your kids, too. Both of y'all. Instead, you're posted up complaining about how you got CPS called, and they're investigating you, homie. And you're posting on Instagram? Oh, I hope it's...
So on March 8th, Ethan announces that his intentions to file a police report regarding the fraudulent CPS call. And he also mentions that he wants to protest outside Reddit's headquarters, attributing the harassment to certain online communities who have a lot of power on Reddit. Then on March 10, he uploads, this is one of his latest uploads to the H3 Productions, which is his other channel. And here he's talking about all the things that he has endured as a YouTube creator. And he is visibly upset about what he and his family went through. CPS wanted to talk to his kid, his wife, his nanny, and then the whole incident was just very unfortunate, and he's expressing that on this clip. If we can play the beginning of this clip on YouTube.
right on time.
In my long career on YouTube, I've pretty much seen it. In my long career on YouTube, I've pretty much seen it all. I've been swatted several times with LAPD helicopters, the street shut down, police with guns drawn, doing a perimeter around my house. We've also been visited by the FBI 3 times. They were all to warn us of a credible threat against our lives. One time, most recently, he came at 7 a.m. and said, "Do not open any packages until you hear from me, as we have credible bomb threats against you that we found online." I thought I'd seen it all. I knew this content nuke was going to draw a lot of negative attention, seeing how extreme Hassan.
Because of the nature of his content, he addresses very controversial issues. He is very blunt and I would say, outrageous sometimes. That's why, that if you make this kind of content, then you may be, more susceptible to hatred and people hating hating on you online because of the nature of the content that you post. If you are a follower of this podcast, you know that he covers like very controversial issues, like from celebrities and political issues and other creators, and he's, he's not afraid to say things on his show. So this is just what happens when you create this type of content, but at the same time, is really scary. And this has happened to other creators, like how people can find out where you live, and then they can make false accusations that you're doing something illegal, and then the next thing you know is that you have law enforcement at your door, or they're knocking down your door because they're the SWAT team, and puts you in a very scary situation.
So
like
the
that.
SWAT is the SWAT team? That's not what
Yeah.
the SWAT is.
Yeah.
Ay, pues.
That's what it is.
It's when you get the SWAT team called.
It's when you get the SWAT team, yes, calling you. Exactly.
On your ass.
On your ass. And this is another creator, a Twitch streamer, Asmongold. Asmongold.
Asmongold.
He is also a creator here on YouTube, and he gave Ethan his support and condemned the false CPS reports, and he criticized those who are responsible or behind these actions. I think that in this case, when you are the public figure, you know that this is just business as usual, and you just take the criticism, the trolls, the comments about you, the attacks on your character, but when they come after your kids and your family, that's just a whole different story. Very unfortunate, in my opinion. So, before we move on to the next story, which is it's a good one too, let me share with you about the Studio Blueprint Builder. If you're ready to buy your studio gear and design the studio of your dreams to start recording videos and podcasts, we have the perfect tool for you, and it's called the Studio Blueprint Builder. With this tool, we guide you through the process of choosing the right equipment for your space and your recording needs, designing your studio backdrop with our templates. These are real templates that we have created for studios that we have designed for our clients with the exact gear, furniture, and backdrops. And you can also optimize your space for sound and lighting using this tool. The best part is that all of the equipment, backdrop options, and furniture included in the templates are linked, so you can go straight from designing to ordering with just one click. No more wasting money on equipment that doesn't work for you or your space. That's the number one complaint that we get from people. We get a lot of questions regarding equipment, so we made this tool for exactly for that reason. Get the blueprint builder for only $100 and get access to, for only $100, you get access to the blueprint templates and tutorials by our expert and audio engineer and video producer, as well as created gear just for you. So go to pss.media/shop and then you can access the blueprint builder there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it.
I
PSS
love
Media Studio Blueprint Builder. And the
Exactly.
audio guy that she's mentioning, that's this guy, right?
Yes.
And yeah, it's the complete walkthrough that we use with our clients. Top tier shows. This is exactly how we build their podcast studios for them. So now this is accessible for you too. So go check it out.
Now, let's move on to the next case. The next case is BJ Investigates. She is a creator here on YouTube versus Lima Mora or Lima, I hope I can pronounce her last name, Jevremovich. Jevremovich. So to tell you the story behind this case, well, it was a Saturday night. And we were just like, watching some TV, trying to find a show, to fall asleep, because that's what you do when you're in your 40s. You're just like, let's just sleep through a show.
And the more disturbing the show is, the more easily Veronica can fall asleep to
Yes,
it.
yes. The more I was falling asleep too. What was the?
The Saw movies?
No, yeah.
Yeah,
was,
I mean, just horrible gore.
No, but
and
it
people
was
being
like,
gutted
what's the name of this serial killer?
I don't know, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, I mean, you name it. You nap like a baby when people are being like brutally, decapitated.
Okay, was this there's this series on Netflix about the serial killer? And man, the moment that would start playing.
No, I can't.
Oh,
even
Jeffrey
go there.
Dahmer.
Yeah, I can't even.
Oh, Jeffrey.
That was too
I would
much,
be like
way too
sleeping,
much.
and I would just turn, and Steven would be traumatized, but
In shock and in horror.
So we were like, trying to find a show, and we found this documentary. The documentary is called "The Curious Case of Bam Margera." And we were like, yeah, let's watch this. If you are from our generation, you're probably familiar with the show on MTV called Jackass. He was part of this show. So we're like, what happened to Bam Margera? Let's watch. And then from there, it went downhill. I mean, the show is just like super bizarre. But the thing that caught my attention was that this YouTuber, BJ Investigates, is Brittany BJ Corville, was part of the show, and she was investigating this lady, Lima Jevremovich. Yeah?
Jevremovich.
Yeah. And then in the documentary, Bam is he's kind of going through a tough time in his life right now. He's battling drugs and alcohol and things like that, and his family is trying to help him out, to intervene. So they saw this person, Lima Jevremovich, and then they filed documents for guardianship, and now she was responsible for Bam. And Lima is the founder of Aura, which is innovated a treatment. I mean, the thing was weird. So she claims that she can help people with their addictions, like really bad addictions, people that are homeless, like there's no hope for these people, and that they can help them using a VR headset and using this artificial intelligence device to cure them of their addiction. So this is why she got to be the guardian of Bam, and the whole thing is just like, I mean, there's a lot of things going on in that show. But one of her, so before we get into the story, can we play this clip from the show Jackass?
Oh, and I was already playing that.
Oh,
so
was it?
Yeah,
Was
with
it already?
Bam. Yeah, with Bam just beating up his dad. You know.
My gosh, like we were wild
Camera
in the
again. How's
90s,
it like
okay?
that? By my camera. Woohoo!
We were wild.
He was waking his dad up in the plunger.
Oh my god. I don't know we watched that show. I think that I thought that Americans were crazy.
Yeah, it's not good, Vico. You should have gone right back to Colombia when you see a show like this. It's like, I got to get out of America.
So if you scroll down, we can see a photo of Lima Jevremovich.
Definitely been seeing that too.
And then, the YouTube channel of BJ, which now is called That Surprise Witness. She rebranded her show. She changed the name of her YouTube channel. But then in the show, she started, getting curious about this case, and then she started posting videos on her YouTube channel and publishing these videos exposing, the controversy. Just didn't sit well with her, like what's going on. And then it didn't help that the first patient that went through this treatment with the VR headset died during treatment. So the whole controversy just arose, and then Brittany just started posting videos about this. And in the show you can see how all of the videos that she was posting, and she has a big following and very passionate followers and people in her community who were also convinced of Lima's being a sketchy character, and her whole treatment and her whole philosophy in the way that she was.
Yeah, she has an army of equally freaky people who seem like they're very unstable, likely mentally, and so she just can sick them on anybody she wants. She could just like gather them together and just send them out to somebody. And because this particular case was getting so many views for her channel, for her it didn't really seem like it even mattered potentially the lives that she was hurting. But yeah, it really fascinating story.
So there's a lot of back and forth. In the show, you can see the effects of these videos. There were some like personal information being disclosed, like about Lima's mom and sisters, and they eventually had to move, to a different state, just because of the harassment that they were going through by BJ's followers. And then ultimately, Lima filed, she sued BJ's for, a source of, different things, for defamation, doxing, and cyber harassment, false information about her business. And then in the allegations of the lawsuit, it says that BJ allegedly published Lima's private information. That's how they find out about her mom and her sisters, and that BJ allegedly created a fake OnlyFans profile to impersonate Lima, and other accusations. If you don't know what doxing is, because I'm sure you are wondering what that is.
I was wondering what doxing is.
So it's when other creator who's attacking you, or are in a controversy with you, discloses information, personal details of you, like where you live, your phone number, your email, your birthday, like really personal data, then that's called doxing. People, they disclose like your address and social security number and all that. So this whole case, however, was dismissed by a federal judge And because, you know, one of the things that we're going to get into is like there are ways that you can protect yourself when you are sharing details of another person, when you are you know, bringing to the attention certain things that you don't agree with, or like finding loopholes, or like going through this person's story or things that they have posted online to discredit them. There's a way that you can avoid getting into legal trouble, and that's just making a disclaimer that you're just providing your opinion, that you're not an expert, and that is just you know, things that you have found on the internet, and that way you can kind of like protect yourself in that regard. And because she included those on her YouTube videos, then the whole case was dismissed.
Oh, okay. So she was smart about it. She, you know,
Yes.
receive some advice. And so that's a good thing. If you're going to be dogging on people and sending your wacko army towards people, make sure that you label things. I allegedly am defaming this person.
Yes, the whole case is bizarre. I'm not advocating for one, you know, for Lima, or for, you know, her business, or for BJ. I went through some of the videos on her YouTube channel. Very interesting takes on different popular things that are happening right now. She's, you know, she talks about P. Diddy. She's been talking about Blake Lively, and, you know, all of this things that are, you know, pop culture, that controversial figures that are things that are happening right now. So that was one of the things. That was another case. And then there's the Stalker encounter. This also just happened, I think it was last week, a few days ago. And these three sweet girls, they're very popular Twitch streamers, and they're also YouTube creators with their channels have millions of subscribers, really cute girls. They were at the Santa Monica Pier, and they were live streaming, right? They were minding their own business. If you can call live streaming mind their own business. Minding their own business and the business of the people that they were streaming to. But then all of a sudden, this man initially approached them, and he was friendly. It seems like he was a fan, and then he left, and then he comes back, and he's wearing different clothing, and then things get out of hand. His demeanor changes, and he becomes you know, threatening, and he starts screaming, and the girls get very scared, and everything is captured during the live stream. And I found that clip for you, if we can play that clip. And this is a video that is posted by the channel called Daily Dose of OTK. And here is the incident.
Let me just see if I can wire up that incident properly here for everyone. Here we go. I don't know if it is playing. I don't think we're hearing any audio. Let me try this here.
Oh, no, we're not. No. What's up, huh?
Hey, excuse me?
No!
Security?
Emily, no!
Hey,
Stop!
Whoa!
It's fucking fight right now.
What?
Get away from
Hey, what's going
Security!
He's harassing us.
on? What's going on? What's going on, man? Right now. I'll kill you right now. Fuck off. Kill you right now.
Security, please!
Security! I think we're just gonna go.
Let's go. Oh, no, we're not.
Scary, right? A very scary situation to be in. I can honestly say that, you know, that posting content online, that being a content creator, can be scary. You don't know it. It seems like it's just a one-way relationship that you develop with your followers and with your community, and sometimes you don't know who's watching on the other side of the lens. Like when we record our content, when we do our live streams, like right now, I have no idea who's watching me. I have no idea whether you're enjoying this.
Watch it.
Enjoying this live stream, or you're hating me, or whatever the opinions that you may have of me. Some people may just click out or decide not to watch your content, but some others, they get very, let's say, why obsessed,
crazy,
why I was logged out of my
mentally
document.
unstable.
Yes. Okay, let me find my document because I was logged out.
While Veronica finds her document, I'll put on some music and share my own thoughts about the wackies.
I don't know why I was logged out.
The wackies and the jackies.
Yes.
And the unstables.
So
because I don't like radio silence.
I found it again. So yeah, you don't know who's watching you. You don't know who's enjoying your content, or you don't know who's hating on you. So it's
what can
a
we
very
do to protect ourselves?
So here are a few things that you can do to protect yourself, and I am going to make sure that I add those links to this live stream so you can look into this further. Being a creator means that exposure, that you are exposed to risk, lawsuits, people hacking your accounts, you being banned by
Swatting, slapping, punching,
no.
bitching.
You getting banned by the platforms themselves to harassment, and don't get me started with the cancel culture. That's another episode that we can cover about all of the creators that have been canceled for some of them for reasons that are understandable, and some others for things that they did maybe 5-10 years ago when they were different people. So the first thing to do, or the first thing that we're going to talk about, is how to protect yourself, legally. How do you avoid lawsuits? And I found this on, like I said, I'm going to share this links in the description of this live stream. But this is like one of my favorite sources, the way that they laid out and explained everything. But I'm going to summarize it. When you are saying, when you are relating facts, when you are talking about other creators, when you're talking about other people, celebrities, and things of that nature, then to use the I think, or to say allegedly, or to make sure that you give a disclaimer that based on your research, that's what was found. Just make sure that you are that neutral party who's just like really communicating the facts and not letting your emotions, or the fact that you like one person more than the other, take over what you are communicating. Respect copyrights. If you don't want to get in trouble with the platforms, like we are creators here on YouTube, we know this, but new creators may not know that you need to use a royalty-free music, or you need to contact the artist and ask them for permission in writing. Everything has to be in writing for you to cover yourself legally. Any images that you used as well on your videos, ensure that is make sure that they are fair use. Use disclaimers. I already mentioned this. If you're giving advice, if you are talking about maybe that you don't have the credentials, or something that you may be hold, or that you may be found liable because you don't have the credentials to talk about the thing. Just make sure that you say that you're not a professional. So if, for example, in this live stream, if I were to talk about something that has to do with mental health, or if I'm going to share something that has to do with medical advice, that is something that I have to include is a disclaimer saying that I am not a physician, and that is just like my personal opinion on the topic. Get it in writing, contracts, and protect your brand, brand deals and collaborations and all that. If they're in writing, even better. That's a way that you can protect yourself from misunderstandings or problems that may arise from those relationships that you'll enter into as a creator. And then, follow the FTC and the platform rules, disclose sponsorships, and stay compliant. If you are, if you're being paid by a sponsor, even if you're being paid with equipment, if they send you an equipment, a piece of equipment, and or a product or anything that they want you to showcase in one of your videos, just make sure that you hit that toggle the thing that says, this is a sponsor video, whatever. I don't remember what the right, the thing on YouTube says.
It's a button.
It's a button. It's a
It
button.
says
So.
endorsement. This video contains an endorsement or a
Well,
placement
paid.
or a paid doohickey, I believe is the
Paid.
official term. Now, I have to make a disclaimer. I'm not a linguistic specialist, but I do believe they call it a doohickey.
I don't know what that is. The doohickey, the thingamabobs. So, the thingamajingies. Then, how do you protect yourself from identity theft or cyber attacks? This is something that I am going to be doing myself, that I've been doing with certain accounts, and that is to enable the two-factor authenticator or authentication. That's, do it for your email, do it for your channel. Here, the worst thing that can happen is somebody to hack your channel. I know it happened to one of the creators I talked about on last week, Millie, Modern Millie. So all of a sudden there was just this random video with stock footage, just like playing weirdly on her channel. So I kind of knew that it wasn't her. Like, how weird, like what is she trying to do? And then she just communicated to everybody that her channel had been hacked, and then she had to jump through all sorts of hoops with YouTube to get her channel back. So you can only imagine the panic that she went through when that happened. But that made it for a fun video for her that got a lot of views. So that's what when you're a content creator, that's what you do. Like, you take advantage of everything. Everything that happens to you, you just make a video.
Make a video about it, And then if you do get in a fight with somebody, maybe contact them privately and be like, "Hey, can we fight about this a little more publicly?"
Now, in her case, I appreciate that she took the time to make that video, because it can happen to any of us, and she was just sharing some good information in that video, so that nobody had to go through that experience. This is how you. So we say that the two-factor authentication. Yeah, authentication.
It's very authentic.
Use strong passwords. Don't use the same password for everything. That's a big no-no. Be aware of phishing. That's
like things that are fishy, like fishy.
So this is because there's an email that is associated with your YouTube account or your social media, is emails that scammers send you with links. We get those constantly. We do. And
are you saying that we get phished constantly?
Yes. And then you
Have
click.
I been a victim of being phished without even realizing?
Not you, because you never.
I don't check my email.
Check your email.
So one way that you can avoid getting phished is just never to check your email?
Yes. Great. Or if you see, just be very cautious. They're very obvious. They will tell you, like, you won an award. Or, the scary ones are the ones that portray to be a sponsor. And then you get excited, like, oh, a sponsor. But if you look at the email, there are certain things that just don't, if for example, if there's in our case, if Sure, microphones, they reach out to us, then it's somebody with an email from Shure, or if we get somebody like from Elgato or somebody from Rode, that the email has to be from the company, and there's logos attached to the email as well, so the communication, you can see that it's a legit email. These phishing emails, because they're like sent at a mass scale, they're like sometimes are like flat out ridiculous, and you're like, how can somebody? But some of them are very good, so watch out for those.
We get the repeat phishing emails too all the time that are like basically copied and pasted from the same
Yes.
phishing institutions.
So before you click on any links that they send on those emails, something that you can do is like go do your own research. Like, if they say that they're from a company, and so, then you can, get the name and go and look for them on LinkedIn. If you are like, maybe this is legit. But the best thing to do,
as well too. You can go there and just copy, because the last part of the email. So Sven at wecheatpeople.com. You could grab wecheatpeople.com and just give it to ChatGPT.
oh,
Like, is this can you tell me about this company? How long have they been in business? Does this seem like a legitimate thing?
Oh, that's cool. The other thing that you can do to protect yourself is if you have people working for you, as part of your team. Maybe you have, other creators, you have people managing your social media, you have other people managing your YouTube channel, and then make sure that you limit those account access permissions to that you use. How do you pass? What was that service that we used to use to share our passwords? So there's this third-party apps that you can use to keep all of your passwords safe.
I think it was called LastPass.
LastPass. Yeah, you can use LastPass, and that way you don't have to give your passwords to anybody from your team, because you never know. And then, try to monitor unusual activity. I'm one of those who are constantly just watching analytics and watching our channel and watching our clients' channels as well, to prevent that from happening. And keep all of your personal data private, and use a PO box and business email always. Then, what do you do to avoid being? I know that we didn't talk about cases of being banned on here on YouTube, or content strikes or things like that. I feel like this is another episode of Content Jefe. We can talk about creators that have been banned here on YouTube, and what's
Content's on Cocho.
and what was the reason, because there's some juicy details on some of those cases, because I got into it, but I'm just gonna leave it for another episode. But
very juicy.
But follow the guidelines. Avoid hate speech, harassment, and misleading thumbnails. That's what this source recommend, and this is the YouTube monetization rules. Then avoid clickbait and misinformation. Just in order for you to get the views, to get the clicks, then you are sharing stuff on your thumbnail that is inflammatory and has a lot of controversy. But then when people click on the video, then has nothing to do with anything. Like we see that a lot here on YouTube.
I know my face is inflammatory, but is that going to be a problem? Am I going to get binged or whipped?
Because your inflammatory face on our thumbnails? No.
Well, because my face is inflamed.
No.
From too much
No,
sodium.
but yeah, we can't eat, like, that's another thing after your 40s.
No sodium, cariño.
No sodium. No sodium. It's really bad. Avoid repeat violations and have a backup plan. You can, start channeling your community to your email list. Channel your community to other platforms as well. Don't be on just on one platform. We know about a case of one of our students whose channel got banned, and he had to go through the process of getting his channel back. This was a couple of years ago. It was a total nightmare. We went through the pain of him going through that situation, and somehow he was well connected on YouTube and he got his channel back. But you can only imagine. And then how to handle harassment, doxing, and stalkers. Don't share real-time locations. I think this is one of the mistakes that the girls made. I forgot their names already.
There was also the classic case of Kim Kardashian here, right, too, when she got robbed at her hotel room.
Yes.
Yes.
So if you share where you are and in real time and your locations, you're exposing yourself for people going there and find you and scare you if they have if they have bad intentions.
Yes, and the names were Valkyrie and was the main name. I don't know what the other names were. Valkyrie, Emiru, and Cena.
Yes. Cena. Yeah, Cena. I remember Cena. So turn on privacy settings, restrict DMs, and block toxic users. You don't have to put up with people, leaving nasty comments on the platforms that you have built.
You got to block those people. And YouTube actually protects you this way. It gives you lots of options here. My favorite option is the hide user from this channel. When you do the hide user from this channel option, they still see their comment there as if they're still doxing and floxing and flapping and swatting you. But it's not, it doesn't show up to you, and it also doesn't show up to your channel, which is really cool.
Another thing that you can do, and that big creators do sometimes, unfortunately, is plan for swatting. And that what they do is that they alert local police. If you're being targeted online, and you let them know, listen, you are going to receive calls from people telling you that that I did this, that I did that. So be aware that some of those calls may be false. So before you knock down my front door, and you can only imagine people are wearing masks and guns, and in the middle of your living room, and your kids are crying and the dog's barking. No, okay, no. So
No, that ain't cool, right?
No, so they alert local police about I am a public figure, and this may happen to me. And document and report harassment to law enforcement if things get out of hand. You're not out of recourse. You can make sure that you document and you report this incident, so there's a track record for what you are going through. And
find this information at the Beaten Fender guide.
Yes.
Doxing. It's Beaten Fender. Beaten Fender.
So, and then finally, navigating cancel culture and reputation management. And this was a very, very good article that I found. Is from Agility PR Solutions. So maybe one day you're gonna have to hire a PR firm to handle all of the things that have to do with your public image and your reputation.
And when that day comes, consider Agility PR Solutions for you.
So, but the first thing that they say is think before you post. And man, sometimes we just don't. Sometimes we just get so heated,
I had one of those conniptions the other day, and I woke up just so hateful, and I just needed to take it out on the dumb comments we get on YouTube. So if you were one of those people that seemed to just suddenly get kind of geez.
Yeah, but listen, like we're humans. We're humans,
yes,
and
yes.
There are, when you write, just things can get out of context, and I tend to go to the other side. So something that is written, in a way that is not offensive. When I always find that I read it with this tone that the person is offending me. Like there was this comment on one of our videos the other day, like the person said like, oh, like you lost me at, what was it? Racist. Yeah, you lost me at racist DEI. So, and I've been asking people and they just don't understand, but I'm like, that is a racist comment, okay? Because the video had nothing to do, if anything, we're not racist here on this channel. And the video was about, like, for crying out loud, I'm brown and I'm from Colombia. So, but the video was about just giving people ideas on what they can podcast about. So why would that comment be there, So anyway, before you post, just think, because in the moment you don't think how big you can get. In the moment you're not thinking about what's going to happen 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and you have millions of subscribers, millions of followers, and you are this public figure. Things are going well for you. You are thriving, and then somebody doesn't like you. Somebody doesn't like your fame, the money that you're making, and they just go years and years. They go to your Twitter account, they go to your Instagram account, and they dig deep. And then they will find whatever you tweeted 5 years ago that had some that was problematic, and they will bring it up and destroy your reputation. So think before you post. Audit all content. That's another thing. Like you can hire somebody, or you can do this yourself, to go before the haters and find that piece of content that you wrote when you didn't know any better. Now you're a good person. Back then, you didn't know who you were.
Yes, you've had some time.
You woke up hormonal.
You do the cold plunges.
Yeah.
You try really hard, and it's been
You've
a couple
been
years.
meditating. You've been going through the Joe Dispenza.
You do the naked sunbathing. Your kids have walked in on you. It's horrible. You have your hairs plucked out of your chest. Acupuncture mix. I mean, you have people beat you with frozen fish.
Mm-hmm. You have done the red light therapy. You are taking your green juice. I mean, you are a different person.
There's supplementation going on. Every guru is constantly filling your head. You don't even have your own thoughts anymore. You've been completely reprogrammed.
Yes. Another thing that they recommend is to speak to your audience directly. Of course, there are certain things that we're not going to share with our audience, that there are certain private details that we don't want to share, or that we don't have to share, and that people really don't care about those private details. But the more you show up authentically, the more you share your views and who you are and all that, then you're not going to get into any type of controversies or problems of this nature. The problem is like when you portray to be, maybe you're portrayed to be a person of color, and then it ends up that you were just getting fake tans, and then you were getting braids, or you were wearing a wig, and
that happened to me a couple of times.
That was a real case. Like I remember her name, but
I remember that case too.
Yeah.
Isn't she like married to like a big celebrity, like, or a big movie star? Like, isn't this Alec Baldwin's wife?
Oh, that's another one. That's
okay.
Another one. Yes. So Alec Baldwin's wife, she's an interesting case. She wants to be a Latina, but she's not, and she got caught. Her Spanish wasn't
Same
as
thing
good.
happened to me.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's continue moving on.
And then, speak to your audience directly, rebuild your brand, move forward with positive content. Like if things like this happen to you, then the best thing to do is to apologize. And we're all make mistakes. We're being young and stupid, and we've had moments of weakness. So the best thing to do is just to come out and say that you're sorry, that this is something that, what's her name? John Legend's wife. What's her name?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, I have you there. Why don't you Google?
Well, it's okay. Let's just move on to the next.
Crazy Teigen.
Okay.
So Crazy Teigen, people found some tweets that she made, a few years ago, and then, she just came out and apologized for that. So I think that was a good move from her to do that, like right away, before you start defending yourself, before you start attacking the other people, before you start getting angry. Is just to come out and address those posts or tweets or videos and say, like, I didn't know any better. I hope I get to just ask for forgiveness, because you didn't know any better, like, really, and you offended people. And then rebuild your brand is not the end for you if you get to be in this situation. Slowly you can start rebuilding your brand. These are things that there are storms that come and go, and they will come and hit, like, all at once, and it seems like the world's coming to an end, but then things will keep going.
Ride it like a wave. Do it the Kardashian style again. Like, if you grab that thing right when it hits and you ride it like a wave, it could wind up being one of the best things that's ever happened to your brand. I was kind of joking about getting involved in a fight and encouraging fights to happen between you and another creator. But actually, that could be something you could do, is ride that wave into more influence, into more eyes on you.
Exactly. And then don't feel the drama. So I imagine, like, I put myself in the shoes of Ethan and think, okay, it would be like very hard not to be vocal about something like that, having CPS coming to your home, and having your wife and your kids involved in the whole drama. But imagine if instead of him going public with this and attacking the other person, that he just like keeps doing business as usual, and he doesn't give like 1 ounce or 1 second of his energy to this person or to this group of people. Like, they'll move on. They'll move on. They'll move on to other creators, because he's not fueling the whole drama. But it's hard. We're all humans. We all get angry. I get angry every day. I'm angry right now. I'm angry.
I'm pretty angry too. We have dinner reservations.
We do.
And we're gonna miss them.
Oh, okay. So
we're gonna test out some wireless microphones.
So this is it. I appreciate you being here. Let's just make this community about love and kindness, and a place where everybody feels welcome, and we cheer each other.
I mentioned the wackies, but that's because I'm a fan of wacky.
It's because he's a wacko.
I'm a wacko myself.
Yeah.
But I'm a wacko with a lot of love in the heart.
We are. And listen, there's nothing wrong with you like following people and getting passionate about certain topics. But let's just focus that passion into something good instead of hating on other creators. If you find somebody annoying or that you don't like, it's very easy. Just don't watch their content and move on. Protect your energy. You're the one feeling the hatred, and you don't want that.
Yes.
So with that being said, I want to see you here next Friday. I want to see you here every Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern time, for another episode of Content Sancocho.
And
I love you.
I want to know how you feel about these sound effects. Is it making you upset? Did I throw the cat in there? What can I do to make things better over here with the button pushing to give you a better show? Drop that in the comments. And yes, until next time.
Bye.